Hi everyone. Welcome to the UncleTalks live stream. I'm your host Peter, and welcome to the second Monday podcast. So, Rainier is probably going to join us a little bit later, along with Johnny Boy, since I'm kind of just starting, I guess, directly on time. But I thought I would just be here to basically say, hey, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Of course, it is Monday, so hopefully you guys had a good start to your week, and if you did, awesome. Hopefully that carries out throughout the entire week until the weekend, and then you can have some awesome times on the weekend. If you have off on the weekend, if you're working on the weekend, hopefully it lasts until like the next week. All the awesome vibes. And if you just started out on a bit of a tiff, hopefully you guys will go through some awesome moments further down the line of the week, because not everything starts off with the awesomeness of energy and rainbows, but we just got to continue to try, at least look at the things that we have that we obviously can't live without, like our health or wealth and all that stuff. So if you find yourself in a bit of a rough spot, it's okay to feel, I guess, a little bit crappy, but at the same time, hopefully things will look up further down the road. But hopefully you guys are doing well. Anyway, I thought today's podcast, we would probably talk about the basic things health, wealth, and then go into how we can branch off into living lives the way we want to live. Truly live, and be honest with ourselves about that. So that's why the title of this podcast, at least this episode, is it's just as ambiguous as I think the other ones that I would put up. Because I'm really not great at coming up with titles when it comes to these things, because I don't try to make them pop. I don't try to make the titles pop that much. Obviously as a content creator, you always want to make it so it's oh, it's popping and people will get in the hook and all that stuff. And for me, I'm just I admit I'm very terrible at it. So for me, it's I just basically put a title and there we go. If anyone stops by, welcome. You're more than happy to join the conversation with me and my co-hosts further down the line. So let's just rest up, relax, and we'll probably be nerdy about life. That's basically the point of the podcast. It's just for us to be nerdy about life and just look at it from a very deep perspective, but at the same time not overthink it, because I'm so used to overthinking a lot of things, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys are too. So hopefully you're able to break the habit of overthinking things way too much, because for me, I have that bad habit too, especially when it comes to being sociable and all that stuff. But I think that is the thing that is probably it plagues some people. Some people can just walk up to people and start talking. Some people just have a hard time because they are very socially aware of how uncomfortable it is to actually start greeting strangers. I'm gonna basically tell a little bit of a story once my other co-hosts come on to the podcast. So let me just see here. just checking a message from Rainier. He basically says he's on this way, so we are not in a rush. We're not in a rush, so. And I'm pretty sure my friend Johnny Boy is also gonna come as well, because he he was actually streaming like I think a couple minutes ago, so. Okay, so Rainier says he might be on within 3 minutes, so no problem, no problem. I probably should tell Johnny Boy the same thing. Just basically letting Johnny Boy know that the podcast is on, in case he may have came off his mind. So I probably should check to make sure the podcast is on the YouTubes as well as Twitch, just to make sure it's working. So you guys can. Okay, so it looks like it is live on the YouTubes. Yep, both of them are live. The YouTube Shorts or YouTube Live. If you guys, if this is your first time tuning into the Second Monday podcast, you know, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you like the stuff that we talk about, you know, hit the sub button and leave a like and comment down below. If you're watching this on Twitch, you know. Basically just hit the follow button and, you know, join our Discord server if you're watching this on Twitch or Kick. Let's see here. But before they come on, I'm going to basically use the restroom really quick, so I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, it looks like everyone's here.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we got Johnny Boy and Rainier with us. Our co-hosts are here. So, how are you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Okay.
Let me just make sure that I raise the volume on your guys' side. All right. I think that will do. All right. So the podcast has officially begun. Hopefully everyone in chat was not waiting too long. If you guys can't hear Rainier or John or me, just let me know. If the music is too loud, please let us know. All right. So I thought we would probably, because me and Rainier had thought about different topics to talk about with you guys today. So we thought we would go down the line. We would basically talk about like health and then wealth, and then we'll look into like the topic of the title, which is paths to take in society once you've mastered those things. I think that is a way. Mm-hmm.
I had a question for you tangentially. Have you played the new Ever to Neverness? Because I think it came out, right?
Yeah, Neverness to Everness is out. Yeah.
So what's your general opinion on it now that it fully came out?
I like it. I'm still playing the game. I think what I like about it compared to other gacha games that I played, I just like the money system that's in it. and I also like the way that they use the money, the currency, the in-game currency to um, allow you to access certain things that allow you to get into the gacha mechanic. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that, and also boost up your character. So I think that's the thing I like about the game. It's like yeah, you can still buy stuff in the game, but I think it's sort of like very um, free to play friendly, I think,
Okay.
or
And then,
friendlier than other games, other gacha
well,
games I've played.
what are your cons about it? What are the stuff that you maybe not like as much?
The only cons I think I would take away from it is it's basically like developer issues. Like I mean, like basically like like characters glitching in and out in certain areas, certain
Uh,
things, and all that stuff. I think that's just mainly like small things, but it doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the game. Because John has
okay.
also played Neverness, so he can probably
Hmm.
give his opinion on it.
Yeah. What do you think, John?
I don't know if you could say I still play, but I'm somebody that's when it comes to gachas, they hold my attention only for so long because well, one, I'm unfortunately somebody that is like addicted to gaming, so it's like when there's something new and shiny and it's affordable or it's like on the Game Pass or something or some type of subscription that allows me to play it, I just hop on it. So it's very easy for me to get my like games piled up. Plus, like, I'll find myself going back once in a while. Like, I just played Kane and Lynch 2 again last week. So it's like all of those, like playing old and new games, and then the gachas
Mhm.
is like it's really hard to balance it all out. So I usually drop gachas first because one,
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually spend money on gachas, so like
Mhm.
it's easy for me to drop them.
Mhm.
And then two, like gachas usually have this pattern, which is like when it's new, it's like really good. But like as time goes on, it becomes like a pattern. Whether or not it's predictable is not the problem. It's the fact that like I was talking to Kevin how in Genshin, like they have individual character stories, which is like
Mhm.
great for fans. But
Mhm.
it's like if you're a completionist or you're trying to like piece things together, like those stories could take 3 to 6 hours.
Mhm.
And like whenever there's a new character, that's another 3 or 6 hours you have to play. On
Mhm.
top of the
Wow.
story, on top of like the collections, on top of the chests, on top of the maps. So it's like
Yeah,
it's
exploration.
great. Yeah, it's like it's great for like thousands of hours, or if it's like the one game you're playing, or if like you're a grind head, like you love playing games like that. But even me who likes to play really long games and I could put in some hours, it
Yeah.
becomes too much for me. I can't. I have a struggle to balance it. But
Mhm.
that's like my overall opinion
Yeah.
with me and gacha games. NTE is great. I loved it when I was trying it for the first time. I actually thought it was gonna be the gacha game that I would stay in for a while. And same with Peter. Like, I do. The combat is okay. The combat's not bad, but it's like WoA or like
Mhm.
the combat's very similar to a lot of like whatever the popular gacha action games are right now.
Yeah.
But the currency system is great, where the game allows you fluidity on how to approach certain things. So it's like you don't have to just grind combat to get stuff.
Yeah.
You could like, and it sort of low key teaches you how to have like an entrepreneur like mindset where
Mhm.
like it's in an extremely like like a
Simplified
very
way.
like simplified way.
Yeah.
Like you could start buying your own cafe shops, and then there is a leveling system tied to it, so it's not like you could just jump to the next cafe. But it's like once you reach certain levels and you have the currency for it, you could buy new cafes, so you have
Yeah.
like passive income coming in. And then like there's other games like heists and stuff that you can unlock later on, which allow you to get even more funds, but those also have caps. So it's like
Mhm.
the way they did the way they did like the environment for
Mhm.
like money, currency, and gains in that game, I think is like great.
Yeah.
It's really good. A lot of people compare it to have said like it's like an anime GTA, but if it's like if you compare them to, there's very little, honestly, like comparisons. But if you say that to a casual, I think it's like pretty accurate. Like
Mm.
somebody that casually plays it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And every playable character, at least from launch and like the next patch, their alties are like not clones. It's like everyone's style is very like organic, like it's very their own style, like very original. There's like a one character where her thing is time stop, and you could use it like outside of combat, and you'll actually see if you have like all of your settings on, like on higher max or whatever, you could actually see like if it's raining, the raindrops stop, and if you like move through
Wow.
them, yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Hotori. Yeah, that's the character Hotori. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And even it's like it's just a small thing too, like it's just a detail, but when you actually do the gotcha system mechanic, it becomes like a board game of like just like a board game type of thing where you go to different squares, and if you land on a certain square, you get whatever's on the square. I thought that was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw some of
agree.
it when Peter played the demo.
Yeah.
It was kind of a unique take to the
Yeah.
gotcha mechanic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
For me, it's like I like to think that I know it's the thing is like I know it's not true, but I like the illusion that it gives you that it's kind of like a random board game, but you know all that stuff's probably pre-calculated already.
Yeah, like more likely it's going to be pre-calculated. But at the same time, I think the way it's presented is like very good on the eyes, and I think that's the reason why I really like it. Plus, you're in a city, and there's like so many places to explore, and yeah, I really like the fact that it kind of gives you this entrepreneurial type of aspect to it, because because some people like gotchas because of the battle system. I like it because of the money system that's in it. So for me, I think that's the reason why I keep playing it. Like Genshin is basically like I play both for story and the content of it, but at the same time, I think I like them for different reasons. Like Genshin and Neverness to Everness.
Would you say that Genshin and NTE are your top two games right now?
I mean, Genshin is about to end, so yeah, I would have to say I would say Genshin is the reason why I like Genshin is because I love the fact that it's like Harry Potter, where you like read when you get into the story, you realize that the people that are very obsessed with it, they develop their own theories on what the story may develop into based on the clues that the developers have left in the game. Whilst in NTE, the story itself is like it is important, but like the thing that you enjoy with NTE is that there's so much to explore, and there's like so much ways of making a second life in a video game. So it's like one of those games where you feel like, man, my life in this game is so much better than my actual real life. so you know, because in the game I literally have I have 4 homes. I have like a freaking like big mansion.
So it's good for like escapism, you know.
Yeah, it's like the escapism of it, and like, you know, you actually go on dates with the characters that you have in your roster. So I think NTE was like the next league up from like Genshin, because like my best friend Kev, who John has mentioned, he has actually quit Genshin because of this game.
Interesting. Okay.
And he keeps apologizing and basically saying that, I'm sorry, I'm quitting Genshin. I'm like, why are you apologizing? It's not like why are you so like, because he's so apologetic about it, and he's like, well, I spent money in this game. It's like, I did too. You see me like crying about like playing Genshin less? No.
It's also like very stylish. Like if you're into like Persona, like Persona, like I guess Persona in general, but I think the stylings, from what I recall, I think 3, 4, and 5 was really when they started popping with like the styles.
The colorful stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The colors and like the UI aesthetics and stuff. NTE has that, and the music too is like it sounds like it's something that could have been from like Persona or something.
They even had a collab with Persona. At a point.
Yeah, there you go.
So like some of the tracks from Persona are actually in the game. So, you know, like they even had a collaboration with Porsche, so you know, they really are stepping up their game. So
the car?
Yeah, the car brand, yeah, they actually had a collab. Yeah, like my best friend Kev, he actually got the Porsche car like in the game. Like when they were doing that special event that you can get the Porsche car for like certain amount of pulls. So, you know. But also the thing of it is that like whenever it came to like the money making mechanic, I kind of feel like, oh, maybe I should implement this strategy or this strategy, and it kind of is like something that you kind of utilize in like everyday life. It's like in order to
Yeah.
make money, you have to spend money a little bit, but at the same time, it's like
Hmm.
you have to spend less on what you're gaining, and that's the thing. Because
So it's like
mhm.
controlling your spending and investing.
Yeah, yeah, like no, like I even typed like there was a survey that the devs sent out to all the players, right? I typed in like the final box suggestions. I basically typed in put in a real estate slash stock stock investment instrument in the game, because I think some people would like that, because it would be pretty interesting to see like how can you make passive money in-game currency through that, or how they would
Mhm.
implement such a thing. Because one of our friends that actually knows how to that is into gacha games, he told me that there was a system like that in Arknight's Enfield. So I was like,
Yeah.
he even told me like, oh, put in parentheses a system that's similar to Arknight's Enfield, so that the developers
Yeah.
can get a better idea of how to make that system work. And I was like, oh
I
yeah,
think
that's a
those
good
are
idea.
those are the towns, right? Like, I think those are the towns where like you could sell products to a town,
Yeah,
and then like the pricing will be different. I think every day or like
Yeah.
every few hours or something.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah.
I see, that's the thing too, because I really liked Enfield as well, and I thought that was gonna be the next thing
Yeah.
that I was gonna get into. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's
I think
like
Enfield has the
eats so much
potential.
time.
I think it has the potential. It's just that building the factories and stuff, it kind of got overwhelming for me. That's why I kind of stopped playing it. I thought I
Yeah.
would play it, but when the system got a little too complex, I was like, ugh, I can't put this game down. I would have to play it every day in order to actually master this game. So,
Yeah, ironically, like that's like one of the things I loved about it. But then,
Yeah.
it's just like I love that part. But then I'll find myself spending I won't even talk about the hours. Like I'll spend 30 minutes trying to create like the blueprints in my head of where
Yeah.
I'm putting stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I like? Why am I spending like
Mm.
so much time when I should just put it down
Yeah.
and then like move that way? Like everyone
Yeah.
has their own approach to it. But yeah, the tutorial is also that in itself, like for people that are curious about playing it but they might be intimidated,
Yeah.
that's like a wall that's like intimidating, but it's very like they have tutorials and they'll hold your hand through it.
Yeah.
There are times when like later on the advanced levels, the quote unquote advanced like levels of progress in that can get confusing, but it's really just like starting with like one block and then just work from there, and then
Yeah.
you'll find yourself on like the 40th block, and they
Yeah.
have their own like preset blueprints too for where you want to put it down, but it can get confusing.
I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think the thing of it is that some people that are very obsessive, they really like those type of games, because there's like, oh, not everyone can play it. So if I master this, then I'll be part of an exclusive like player base.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it's the same thing when people like are very arrogant with their knowledge. It's like, oh, I know how to do mathematics. I'm doing something that people think are useless, but I'll show them that because of my intelligence, I will be like gaining all the money and glory because I'm so smart and so intelligent. That sort of thing. It's like an ego booster type of thing.
Yeah, there is bragging rights in relation
Yeah.
to it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely like and it probably comes out later, like when you get far enough. But
Mhm.
what I didn't like is so you could like make advanced products, but those advanced products started, the ingredients are related to like beginning products.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're creating like a machine combination
Mhm.
to farm like this beginning ingredient, if
Mhm.
you want the advanced one,
Yeah.
they have literal like other machines where you have to put the original ingredient into the advanced machine
Mhm.
so that like it could travel into another advanced machine to make, like, instead of just
Yeah.
having a new machine that has the new product,
Yeah.
you have to like start from the basic, which makes like that's like the confusing part, but it also eats so much space.
Yeah.
And the game will only give you so much space in the beginning of like a town.
Yeah.
And for you to extend that, you have to use like there's like the game has like also a lot of different resources, which is something I like, but I also don't like,
Mhm.
because it's like it could get really overwhelming when you have like 9 different versions of like currency, and you don't know what belongs where.
Right.
And yeah, that's when it could get crazy. I like the lore aspect of it, but it's also like, it's there's parts where they'll say like one currency is only used for this, but then this currency could use for 2 of these. And it's just like, okay, yeah, it's like you're making it too complicated.
Yeah, it's coming too.
They could have been
complicated.
simplified, but they, you know, I think for like the
Mhm.
immersion, they wanted it like complicated.
Yeah, you're trying to make it sound like it's like the Japanese carry trade of like currency and all that stuff. It's like, yo, I don't need this many steps. I don't need this many. But at the same time, it's like, how do you make it so simple that like everybody can understand it, but make it so intricate that people will be like, okay, this is not too boring. Like, it's not like, oh, like copy and paste and like, there you go. That type of thing.
Yeah. Like there's like portals, there's like portal storage too, but for you to get there, like that should be something you have earlier, I think, in the steps instead of like way later down the road.
Yeah.
Like I think if they had that earlier on, I think more people would have stayed around.
Yeah.
Because it would have, you know, made their building easier. But it's like they unlock it for you when you're already like. When you're already like thinking so far ahead, and they're like, "Oh, here's like something that'll make it easier." It's like, why didn't you give this to me like 500 hours?
Yeah, like I think like with games themselves, like I think we'll like use this to like jump off onto health stuff, because the thing of it is that like gaming itself, it requires a lot of sitting down and all that stuff, and like we sit down a lot. And what I know, like, even though like I have the most free time, like for me, I always try to make sure that I would stand up and like at least do like at least 10 squats every hour, because apparently like even if you exercise, like I think doctors have realized that even if you exercise and you sit down for more hours than you exercise, you practically will kind of like still have the likelihood of developing things like diabetes and other diseases later in life. So like for me, I've been like, I'm so used to like watching videos that I would get up from my chair and start pacing around the office, like literally like where I watch stuff from my computer, so that I don't like have to have the need of like, oh, I'm being lazy, I have to get up somehow, you know? Like that, there's like an innate like tick in me that basically is like, okay, I've been sitting down too much, I should just stand up and pace around, you know, to keep the blood flowing. But I don't know if everyone, if you guys have that tick, like in yourselves.
Unfortunately, I don't. And sometimes it can get engrossed in your game that like you blink and you're like, oh my god, 5 hours just passed.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
No, like I feel you, because there were times when I was in like if I'm in a battle or something, I'm not going to get up and basically like stretch or something. But if it's like, you know, like downtime, I realize I'm pacing about in a world, I would basically look at the clock and I'm like, oh wait, an hour passed, I probably should do my squats right now.
Perfect example. Oh no, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna add, maybe it's good to set an alarm clock, maybe like you know, every hour. Remind you.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like I think Peter was watching me stream. That game was only supposed to be for like 30 minutes or an hour, and I ended up like, what was that, 4 hours?
Yeah, like he was literally like a half an hour before our podcast was supposed to start, and he was like, he was apologizing to me, and I was like, wait, what? Why are you apologizing to me? And he was like, I realized that I almost forgot about the podcast, and I'm like, I'm like, dude, you still have time, bro.
Yeah, but imagine if I didn't die that early. Who knows how long that could have kept going? And I was like,
true.
I was like, yo, I need to stop, because it's a roguelite, so I can't, like, if I stop, then it resets everything. And I was like,
here's the thing though, because here's the thing, like when entrepreneurs like start talking to people, they're like, oh my gosh, people are wasting their time playing video games and like living in their mom's basement and all that stuff. And I'm like, dude, like if video games were so useless and such a waste of time, there wouldn't be like streamers making money off of it, like making money off playing a game for people to watch, you know? Like it's the same thing with like YouTubers. It's like there wouldn't be any gamer YouTubers like if like games were that like bad for like you know, for like human society in general. Because like,
oh yeah, that's the question. It's more like, you know, absent of money.
Yeah.
There's definitely a benefit because it's not even,
Yeah.
you know, the producer side, the entertainer or the influencer. But
Yeah.
the millions
I
of
think
people who
I think I
watch.
just like making fun of entrepreneurs that basically say that games are a waste of time. And I get it because it's like if you overconsume, yeah, it can become like a thing that just kind of wastes your time a bit.
But isn't that like a super general, like almost?
Yeah, it's the same thing like with cartoons. It's like, why are you watching
Yeah.
cartoons?
I guess it's a general belief that some people have where it's like X and Y and Z is a waste of time. Why
Yeah.
instead of you doing something more quote unquote productive, right?
And now you know why I hate the word adulting. Because
Well,
I hear this
adult-
nonsense like that.
Well, I feel like adulting and productive is kind of like, yeah, it goes hand in hand. Because I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like a lot of people, when they think of productivity, it's something to do with money, right?
Yeah.
It's like either you're building skills to earn more money, or you're doing the actual job,
Yeah.
like a side hustle or something. Or
Right.
you're working towards, maybe if it's not money, but it's like quote unquote skill.
It could be skills or things that you're looking forward to in the future,
Yeah.
or something that you really want to see yourself make in the future, which I
But
think
it's
is a
like-
lot more fulfilling.
I mean, it depends, because I feel like, okay, like if I can learn a musical instrument, I would consider that to be quote unquote productive.
Yeah.
But I feel like the gain or benefit, that the satisfaction, life satisfaction that I would get from like learning a musical instrument is the same as gaming.
Yeah, it is
like-
the same with gaming. Yeah.
I don't gain a skill. Well, I mean, you could argue we probably gain some sort of skill if we game.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, I feel like satisfied at life, even with
Yeah.
just gaming.
Yeah. I think it's like when like say like people that just don't understand like, you know, liking games or liking movies or even liking anime like we do, like, you know, like nerdy hobbies that most people would look at it as like, oh, if you're not making money in those nerdy hobbies, then what's the point of having the hobby? You know, they would say stuff like that. And like the thing of it is, it's like, okay, so your satisfaction in life is just basically going to work, coming home, eating, going to the bathroom, and thinking about like whether you'd be thinking about saving money, investing, or whatnot. And even the people that talk like this, they don't even know about investing either sometimes.
Or
And-
I guess another perspective would be like family, right? Oh, you should
Yeah.
start a family, and then you should work, come home, and raise your kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like what is productive to them. But I mean,
Yeah.
each and every person is like have their own goals, right? They have
Yeah.
their own definition of what is productive
Yeah.
and what is fulfilling.
Yeah, I agree. And there's nothing wrong with if your goal is to start a family and whatnot. And it's a lot of hard work to raise a family and all that
Just
stuff.
like there's nothing wrong with you just wanting to game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much,
Right.
yeah. And that's what the path of society is like, you know, like you have your own paths and you basically set those paths up for yourself if you can actually construct it. And if you feel like you've hit a stumbling block, then you either go over the obstacle or you ask yourself why that obstacle is there, or you ask yourself, is the thing that you are aiming for is the thing that you truly want? Because I think a lot of people don't ask those deep questions, like because you know, like you see, like when you're in high school, you look at people and you see like, oh, this person has a girlfriend or boyfriend, and this person has this and this person has that, and you see like, oh, this person has the latest smartphone, or this person is so popular that they got so many friends and all that stuff. Like we like to emulate people, and we think that that's what we need in order to be truly happy with ourselves, when in actuality, if you kind of break it down, like if you were really honest and actually took the time to actually reflect on those things, sometimes you have to have that hard question, is like, is this what I truly want? Those are the hard questions that not many people ask because we're
I
just
feel
so
like
busy.
everyone should ask that, right? Because I'm pretty sure like you will have situations where there's two sides of the coin. Say hypothetically, someone who keeps gaming, they may realize one day like, why am I feel like I'm just stuck in this situation. I'm not satisfied. There's like an itch of mine to accomplish something bigger. In that case, they should kind of wean on gaming, right? Because like
Yeah.
you know, in their head they should be doing something more.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, you can have a person that's like so tired working like 14 hours every day for
Yeah.
like, you know, 6 days a week or whatever, and they're like,
Yeah.
man, like all I do is grind. Like, you know, sometimes you gotta take a step back and enjoy life.
Yeah.
And act in game or something, you know, or like have some hobby.
Yeah. Because like there was like I was having a conversation with one of my best friends. If you guys have been watching my streams in the past couple of streams, you know my best friend Ronster. He is like one of my best friends, and like I think we were like having a conversation like last weekend while we were hanging out, and he basically said one thing that I kind of laughed at, but at the same time like I understood what he meant. He basically said like, Peter, you should like probably experience the satisfaction of buying a car one day. And,
interesting.
And I was laughing at that because I was like, I understand the intent of why you say that, but at the same time, like, I think about my best friend Kev, because he bought a new car, and every time when he gets a ding in that car, every time when something happens with that car, all of us in our friend group would hear a lot of things about it. John can contest to that.
Yeah. So he really treats the car like a baby.
Yeah, he treats the car like a baby.
Yeah.
And I know if I bought a car that was like that precious to me, I probably wouldn't be able to like relax, because I know that every time when there's a ding, or every time that there's a bump, or everything that like I'm going to be like, oh, I won't complain, but I'll be like, oh, it's like you feel like you're slowly getting yourself hurt by attrition at that point. So, and plus you have to pay like car insurance on that too, and I'm like, yeah. So, no thanks. No
would
thanks.
you say that he had satisfaction in buying a car, but then following up, he had a ton of stress?
Yeah, he had a ton of stress along with it, yeah.
Honestly.
That's why for me, it's like if I had to buy a car with no choice, I would buy just a beater car. Like a car that's been used, and a car that has, like, can just stand, like, the elements and all that stuff. Like, and yeah, of course, like, I would take care of it, but at the same time, it's like, it depends on what degree. Because for me, like, I had to learn this, like, the hard way. I actually wanted to learn to play violin, and I even bought a violin off of Amazon at one point. But then I realized that, oh wait, I have to take care of this thing. Even though it's like a cheap violin from cheap is like not the right word, but at the same time, like, for most musicians, that would be considered a cheap instrument. So, you know, like, I know myself, I don't really maintain things that are really require a lot of maintenance. So for me, I realized that, yeah, I'm probably not a person that should be playing instruments. Unless it's like I rent it or something from someone else, and they take care of it, and I just come in just to use it. You get what I'm saying? So, like, the thing of it is that, like, I guess that's the reason why, like, books are such a thing that I would buy, because I don't have to maintain them, I just have to read them. Yeah.
And it's like, you read them and you kind of extract the value of
it.
I mean, with car, you get the value for sure, but it's like you have to maintain it to keep extracting the value from a car, right?
Right.
And I mean, at least to me, the value of a car is transportation from A to B. But I'm
mainly.
Sure there are other, other people have like the looks of the car, right? They feel good about the car because it looks good. Or like a lot of people like mod it, and maybe they get into racing. You know, maybe it's like a sort of like a hobby as well. What is it? The other one, Tasha. They call it Tasha, where they put like a.
Oh yeah. But like our best friend Kev was into Tasha at one point. Yeah.
I went to just a sidetrack. Like I went to anime, like Chicago. It's an anime convention. And they had like a whole entire big section in like the gaming room. There was like Itasha cars, just like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Like our best friend Kev was actually one in what was it, Otakon, like when me and John went. His car was literally there. That was before his wrap was like was on this car.
Damaged.
So, you know, like, the thing of it is that I'm not saying to people, hey, don't buy an expensive car or a car you like. I'm just basically saying that's just not for me. Because for me, like, I'm so grateful that I'm not a car person, because, like, whenever I hear people talk about buying a car and then suddenly like they have so much stress on maintaining the car, and not only that, they also want to make like the car itself, since it's a car that you bought with your own money and you really like the way it looked when you bought off the lot, the odds are of it remaining the same condition as if you left the lot is very, very low compared to like when you drive out, you know, like you're gonna hit rocks, you're gonna go over bumps, and some things will be needing replacing at one point.
Well, for me, I see buying a car as stressful. I don't, like because the thing is, like, I know that, okay, traditionally you go to a dealer and you talk to someone there. Most of the time, you know, and you should know that these people are there to kind of like maximize their own profit or their own commission, right? So they're always gonna try to upsell you all sorts of stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that like stresses me out, because, you know, like, you just want it to be simple. You just want to buy the car for as cheap as you can get it, obviously, right? But like, I hate haggling. I'm not a haggler at all.
I'm the same.
It stresses me out just thinking about like trying to haggle. That's why sometimes I'm like, instead of stressing me out, sometimes I just let myself kind of get quote unquote ripped off. Like, I don't even haggle. Like, okay, it's MSRP, whatever. Just, you know. But you definitely have to kind of, when you're buying a car, you definitely have to like examine each and everything that they will throw at you, because they'll be like, oh, you want extended warranty, or do you want gap insurance or whatever, and then they're gonna be like, what else? They'll do like service. You want a service contract for this many years? Like, it's so hard to determine what is the best for you.
Yeah, especially if you don't do your research and like know what to look for when it comes to that stuff.
They'll pass you on into the financing, and that's another freaking headache. What is the percentage that they're gonna give you? For interest rate, do you even want, like, you know?
I forgot where I heard this quote from, but like I think it was like one of the finance like podcasts that I was watching. Like I remember the quote, and I thought it was a very profound quote. It's like, the guy basically said, car dealerships, they don't sell you just the car, they sell you the payment plan of the car.
Because that's how they actually make money. It seems like they don't make money from selling the car necessarily. They make money from selling all the accessories, all the extra stuff outside of the car. And then the financing is the interest rate that they can get.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. So it's like rough. So sometimes I'm like, I considered buying to like simply from like Carvana or CarMax, but I heard the reputation and those aren't so good either. So it's like, I don't know. Do I have to suffer another car dealership experience? Because like I am looking to buying a car as well in the next like 2 to 3
I mean,
years.
like, at least like, I mean, like, I know some people don't like Tesla, but at least like you can just order online and then like
that's
that
the
goes through.
hook. Yeah, that's the hook for Tesla for me. And I believe Tesla also had some 0% APR kind of financing, and I'm curious what that is, whether it's 0% just for the first year or what. Like, it
could be because like, since they are online, they don't have to make so many dealership facilities, so therefore they can cut expenses in that department. Maybe that's why, because I think online banks are doing the same thing, where it's like, you have an online bank and basically you deposit your money in that bank, but since they don't have actual physical branches you can go to, they literally will pay you a higher interest rate.
Yeah, because I just typed it, Tesla interest financing. It says currently offers promotional financing as low as 0% APR on select models. If you have a excellent credit or whatever. So that's something that is for sure attractive to me. And you could go up to, there's a 0.99% APR for other trims or blah blah blah. Well, if I can get a 0 to 1%, I am gonna consider Tesla for sure. I know that there's a lot of politics around it, right? Like, to be honest, I like was looking around with electric cars and stuff, and I had a different Discord channel, and I like asked them like, oh, what electric car should I consider? And literally everybody's just like, just not Tesla. And that's purely because of politics, because they see Elon Musk as this, you know,
like he kind of involved himself with politics at one point, and it kind of ruined his brand. But
at the same time, I saw somewhere that apparently Elon Musk only has 13% of Tesla. Like, he only has 13%. So
I'm not surprised.
it's only 13%. Like we kind of act like Elon Musk completely owns Tesla.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's true that apparently. I guess I'm gonna have to fact check myself with that, like how much Elon Musk really.
Yeah, I
owns
think it's
Tesla.
because like certain like it's the same with Michael Saylor with MicroStrategy because he's not the CEO of MicroStrategy, but yet he's somewhat the face of the company in some way. So, you
Right. So let
know,
me see. Yeah, it does say AI says 15 to 50 around 15% of Tesla stock. So in a
yeah.
sense that like you buying a Tesla really only contributes 15% to Elon Musk, and the rest
Yeah.
of 85% goes to the other
Just the company.
engineers
Yeah, just the
and
company itself,
workers
yeah.
that does it. Yeah. So I feel like I don't have that guilty pleasure of ordering
Mhm.
a Tesla,
Mhm.
even if so many of my friends or online friends or Discord people are like, no,
I
don't get Tesla, don't
I
get
I
Elon
think
Musk.
it's because like when, you know, when the person that I guess created the product, like one good example I would say is like J.K. Rowling. Like everyone loved the Harry Potter universe, but everyone like turned against her when she was open about her opinions and views.
Yeah.
So, and the thing of it is that, oh, if you buy Harry Potter stuff, you're basically supporting her. But at the same time, it's like, you're also supporting the businesses that actually made the movies and that made the books and also made the Hogwarts Legacy game that actually was not very supportive
The
of reviews at the time.
developers, yeah, the game may
Yeah.
not necessarily hold the
So,
same exact opinion
it's just very
as J.K.
complicated
Rowling.
when it comes to money because the thing of it is that like yeah you don't want to support the people that basically are making the world a worse place, but at the same time like the way that money is distributed, it made it so that money distributes to every single corner of who has influenced that particular market, like no matter what their views are in any way. I mean like that is kind of like democratic in a way because you know that everyone's getting their money's worth as long as they actually put I guess the production value in the thing that they believed in. But at the same time, it you know like it that's the thing that I think a lot of people just don't want to swallow because it's like, dang, like you know whenever I put like it's like you know with the fuel companies, right? A lot of people are like, oh, the fuel companies didn't talk about global warming because it would ruin their profits and everything. But at the same time, the money you pay for the gas pump is going to all the services that are required to keep people employed to make sure the gas pump works,
Of
you know.
course.
So like I understand when people really want to make sure that their money is going to the right individuals. It's just kind of hard because you know that the system has been created to make sure that everyone gets money whether they have good intentions or not, you know. That's like the
Yeah.
kind of that's the murkiness of like what society is, you know.
Oh, like another thing was a Chick-fil-A, right? Because I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah,
the president had some controversial takes regarding LGBTQ,
yeah.
and there was like some small boycott, like I remember, like a decade ago of Chick-fil-A because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, that's one president.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of the structure you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the workers don't, don't necessarily hold that view.
Yeah.
You know, some
Exactly.
are
Yeah.
on the other side of the spectrum, but it's
Yeah.
definitely hard to kind of that's a complicated thing, right? When it
Mhm.
comes to like voting with your money,
Yeah.
is that it's not so black and white. It's
Yeah, even if you had good intentions with your money, like angelic investing, like you basically want to invest the things that make the world a better place, sometimes it could get skewed where it's like you basically give your money to the places that you thought the money would be good in good hands to basically make sure that the world would be a better place. But then suddenly something turns around and then suddenly the person that you trusted with your money suddenly puts it into a place where someone was not trustworthy, uses it to manipulate certain things for their own profits in their own organization.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's corporations, no matter even if they're an NGO or something that is for the better of the planet, or they're not immune to corruption, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's how it is when it comes to like dealing with like, I guess like the human condition when it comes to like society in general. Like we all want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, but sometimes the right thing is like you're either stuck between a bad decision or a worse decision. And I think when you become a leader of a company or even a country, those are only your only options. It's not really like it's not all the time, but sometimes you're stuck between those options where it's like you either have a bad decision or you have an even worse decision to make.
Yeah, I wonder what the idea is for like
Mm-hmm.
participating in what you would say like your profit off of the oil companies or whatever, or something that you
Or
consider
society in
bad.
general, just
Or like
participating in society.
you say like you I don't know, you invest or you made money from tobacco and oil
Yeah,
companies, and think about like
right.
all of these quote unquote bad companies, and then you can use that money for good. Isn't that kind of like an interesting thing? It's almost like a
Yeah,
Robin
it's
Hood.
also another path that could be taken, but at the same time, people would be like, "Oh, it doesn't matter what good this person did with their money afterwards. The fact is that they invested in the companies that
Yeah,
actually poison people or doing these type of
yeah.
things." And I think like life in general, like a person's life is not so black and white, but at the same time, it's like, um, I think it's about just finding the people that will accept the individual for what they've for their whole history of who they are and everything like that. And that's
Mm.
hard to do. It's the same thing as like, because like I went to a wedding like last weekend, and I couldn't talk to anyone at that place. I literally was just like walking around by myself
Mm.
most of the time, and the friends that I knew, they were busy doing other things. And it felt very awkward for me. And so how does this relate to this? It relates to
Mm.
it because in life, you're always trying to find the people that you most vibe with and that you can actually develop a close connection with. And it's not like you want to be famous. It's more like you just want to meet the people that accept you for who you are, and they can get you to the opportunities that know vibe with you the most, and that will get you into a higher plane of your own experience and existence.
Did you
But
not think you would vibe with anyone in that wedding?
it was just hard for me to socialize because it was like everyone
Mm.
seemed to be in their own groups. And like for me,
Yeah.
it's like it's just hard for me to find a leeway to actually step into a conversation. Because
Yeah,
like,
isn't that kind of hard to almost like it's just kind of awkward like if there's already like a group of 3 or 4 people and they look like they're comfortable with each other, it's kind of hard to like kind of
yeah,
breach the circle and be like, hey
yeah.
guys, hi, what's up?
And also you have to deal with people that have different social, I guess, social muscles. So what do I mean by social muscles? Like social muscles is basically like you have some people that can just talk for hours on end, but then you realize that they lack a social awareness where it's like they find themselves talking and it's like a powerful muscle for them, but they don't have the awareness of that someone else is in the conversation. Like literally someone is with them. So
Yeah,
I
I know. I kind of understand what you're saying.
yeah.
I'm definitely a vet all sort of personality in my life,
Yeah.
and there's definitely some
Yeah.
of those guys.
So like
That, yeah,
like the reason
that's
why I
for
talk
sure.
about this is like my best friend Kev, like he was at the wedding, but he was like one of the groomsmen, and he
Mhm.
basically had to go everywhere around the wedding, so he couldn't stay with me. But I didn't mind that because I know he was like helping out the groom, right?
Mhm.
So for me, he introduced me to like two people like that he knew or had like I guess like an acquaintance relationship with.
Sure.
The person that he introduced, like they both were into the World Cup, right? Or like FIFA,
FIFA?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were talking about FIFA the whole time, and I was just listening the whole time. It was like mainly a man and a woman, and like they were not together or anything, but I think the woman was with a date with was the date that was brought in by one of the groomsmen, and like the guy that was with us was also like a friend of one of the groomsmen, and basically they were talking a lot, but it was mostly the guy talking a lot more, and like there was not really a way I can actually step in. Like I felt like he was more like into talking to the woman than me at that point. So I just
Mhm.
basically listened in and tried to observe the behaviors. And I think like after the wedding, I watched a video by Dr. K. If you guys are familiar with Dr. K, he's like, I believe he's a psychologist as well as a therapist for
Like
people
a
that,
psychiatrist?
I think so. I don't remember.
I think he's a doctor, so that would.
He is a doctor, I know that for sure, and he helps like gamers get over like social awkwardness and like being able to achieve their social goals. And like the way he phrased this, I thought was really really good, and it made more sense to me. I'm very socially aware, so I don't speak up that much because I don't want to interrupt anybody, or I don't want to disturb the group or like perturb the conversation. But there are people that just will talk and talk, and they have less social awareness of how to include people in the conversation. So my point is that when it comes to like social events, you will meet people that are just not they're either hyper aware, of their social existence, or they're completely socially ignorant of their own influence within the conversation. So
It's just different personality, right?
yeah, it's
Part of
different personalities, and
MBTI stuff.
in general, it basically I'm saying is that we all suck at conversating. That's basically what I'm saying to a certain
I mean,
degree.
I feel like it's a term of, it's like an affinity thing, right?
Yeah.
Like we have certain affinities with certain personalities with certain people.
Yeah.
And we definitely have the opposite of that with
Yeah.
other people, right? Like
Right.
we definitely, like, if I think of myself and how my social interactions is with my coworkers, it varies. Like each
Yeah.
coworker I almost treat differently, or
Yeah.
rather my conversations are always different with each and every one because they have a different conversation style, every
Yeah.
single one. Sometimes I take just listening. Like there's
Yeah.
a coworker that just likes to yap and talk about their life. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, it's fine. I'm gonna try to get the most entertainment out of this conversation. You know, if they want to tell about their life, I'll just listen in. I don't need to butt in and really like be like force. You know, if they're not gonna be curious about my life, that's fine.
Right.
But obviously, it's a mixed bag. Like definitely people are different, and you kind of just have to learn how to navigate each conversation.
Yeah. Because like for me, what I learned from that experience is that if I become someone that is more outward with like talking, then I basically have to develop the muscle of including people that are not speaking that much into the conversation. Because I think that's what, like, you know, a person that is socially hyper aware like I am would appreciate. Like, you know, they would love the person to basically like turn to them and start talking to them.
Right.
So, you know, like that's basically how it is with growing. You know, like society itself, like we like to either make fun of society or we like to basically say that society makes people into sheep or drones or whatever, but at the same time we kind of need it. At the same time, it's not like we're trying to make it dictate who we are. That's like the delicate balance of it all. I mean, like, John, do you have anything to add to this?
I essentially agree with most of what you guys were saying. I was like stuck on that doctor because I didn't hear his name. But if you're talking about, not to be racist, but if you're talking about the Indian doctor guy, that GG something, right? GG,
GG Gamer or something like that.
GG Gamer.
Gamer
Jamie,
GG.
Gamer GG, yeah. He was I used to watch a lot of his stuff before. And you know, I'm pretty comfortable with like who I am as a gamer. But like I loved his points and like his videos, especially when he was still new. Because it was really like just cool to see him slowly like get his followers, and then I think his approach too is like he was trying to psychologically help like popular gamers first, and then like do the fusion of like what his analysis is with them and all that. So that was cool. I haven't watched his videos in a really long time, but yeah, I've always like respected and enjoyed his videos. The thing that was cool to hear, I think, was that I mean, he's doing relatively well now, and he's essentially what I would describe as successful with what he was trying to do. But it was cool to hear how he had that journey where he went to school for something, and then he didn't really like, I think he graduated, or before his graduation, or no, I think he failed like a lot of his classes in the beginning, because he didn't feel like he felt like he was just being forced to do it, and he just didn't know like why he was there. But then he went on, he like traveled somewhere. I think like, I don't know if he was traveling all over the world or if he traveled specifically to like Nepal or India or somewhere, where like he studied, he started getting into a more spiritual side of himself. And then long story short, after his whole like travels, he reflected upon like worth, or like education versus the type of life he wants to live, blah blah blah, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he just came back, and then like he started passing his classes because his perspective changed. But
Mm-hmm.
he's also taking like a more spiritual approach. That's why
Mm-hmm.
like I think a lot of his, at least in the earlier videos, he takes, he talks psychologically, but then there's a lot of like mantra. He talks about like mantra and chakra and stuff too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like I thought that was pretty cool that like he takes a spiritual approach to everything
Yeah.
as well.
He's
So it's
putting a
not
little bit
just
of
like
himself and his experiences into his actual practice.
right. And then even like I highly doubt he lied, but even if he lied, it was very inspiring to hear it from
Mm-hmm.
someone like him about
Mm-hmm.
the challenges he was facing, and
Right.
like how a lot of people kind of deal with those things, but they don't really talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was very like him talking about it was very, what's the term I'm looking for, like I could relate to it a lot.
Mm.
So it was good to hear that. And then like uh it's just it was good to just see how he's like progressed over time and all that.
Okay. All right. It's 9 o'clock for us in the east side, and I believe it's 8 o'clock for you, Rainier.
Yep. It's 8 o'clock.
Okay, so we're gonna do our hour break. So if you need to use the restroom or anything, take this time. So
Oh
we will
yeah.
be back in a few seconds. So see you guys till then.
Okay.
You're back.
All right. Like even though we're back, I'm just gonna give the guys a couple of minutes.
I'm here.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm playing game.
Okay.
So I'll be here.
It's all right. It's all right. No, I just wanted to make sure that everyone had enough time to like do the business that they need to get done before we continue on.
Cool.
But hopefully you guys in chat got something out of what we were talking about, because I know we went all over the place. Like because like I said, the titles like I try to make them loose because like like I think every podcast is like that, where it's like you try to make a one simple topic, but then you sometimes go into other topics. So sometimes we might divulge into something else, like gotcha games or whatever. But that's usually why we have the podcast, is so that we can have these conversations and it feels like legit human conversations. It's not like if you learn something from us, like hopefully you'll be able to implement it in life in your own way, instead of just listening for verbatim what we might suggest in the podcast. Like what are you doing, John? Like you said you were playing something in addition to like doing the podcast with us.
I'm playing I was like it was part of this humble bundle I got, and then I was curious about it. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to play something that I didn't have to think too hard, so it's called YouTuber's Life 2.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those simulators where you create a character and then you try to become like a YouTuber in this realm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Okay.
not nothing too crazy. I think the third one's out.
I mean, by the way, John, like I remember you said you recently changed jobs. Like I think like when we last hang out, right? Like
Yeah.
are you up for sharing that? Like like at least like what went on, because I feel like I got a little bit of the story, but I wasn't sure um how it went about, like when you were explaining it to me.
Sure.
If you don't want to share it, then that's fine. You know, I was just asking.
What specifically, like, are you asking?
Because you were transitioning from one job that you got, like, I think, like, a few weeks ago to a job that you just got now. Like,
Yeah.
The one thing is that I was confused on how that process went about. Like, because it seemed like the previous job that you were at seemed like it didn't work out because of something, and then you were able to transition into something else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could talk about that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because I was confused on the process of what you had to go through for that. Like like why that transition occurred. That's basically what I'm saying.
Oh, like why did I choose to go to like a different...
Yeah, like what circumstances led to that. That's basically like what I was confused about with the last time we hung out and you were explaining it to me. Because I think we didn't have enough time to cover it. That's why it was a bit confusing for me.
All good.
Yep. Yeah, we could probably like cover that as soon as Rainier comes back. But yeah, so like hopefully we will cover the basis of like the passive society, guys, because the point I wanted to make with this particular episode is that you will have these pieces that will fall into place for your life, and it may not seem like you're making much effort to make those pieces fit, but then suddenly you make them work your own way, and you will choose the path that depending upon which path you want to take. But sometimes the path like you kind of want to take is sort of like, oh, it looks cool and I want to see where it goes, but then suddenly you just end up pivoting to something else because it turned out that path was probably not the way you want to go about it, or you want to go about the same path but you want to do it in a different way. So, you know, it's basically a way of saying that don't follow a path, learn how to sculpt the path, like sculpt the path your own way. Because, like, if you're going to follow the yellow brick road, you might as well build the yellow brick road as you go. Because a lot of people think that, oh, the road is already set for me. Like, it's not really like that. Like, the more interesting thing is, like, imagine that you're walking on a road, but then the road itself finishes and, like, there's still a lot of grassland to cover. And you can't really touch the grass, so what can you do? You basically take, like, a hammer and chisel and you start making the road yourself. It takes a lot longer, but I think that's a good analogy to think about life in general. I mean, that's the way I think of it in life. I mean, John can give his take on it if it seems like strange for me to mention that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, everybody has their own path and the ways of doing it. Mm-hmm. It's always ideal to carve your own path so that you follow it like you're certain that it's yours. Usually it brings more confidence in the person
and fulfillment
to follow through, just because it's, you know, it's their thing.
Yeah, but
everybody lives a certain way. Some people, you know, maybe for whatever reason they might be following somebody else's path.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, that's their choice. Yeah, everyone's just free to, you know, do what they want. As long as it doesn't hurt people, like that's, in my opinion, that's like the important part. But there's so many ways to live life.
Yeah.
Some are more common than others, but you know.
Yeah.
It's everybody follows different like ways of doing everything.
Yeah. And there's a way of living a simple life where it doesn't feel as if like you have to do everything that everyone else does. Like, for instance, everyone thinks that living a simple life is just getting an office job, coming home, and having a family, and, you know, and then do the things that families are doing. But at the same time, you're also, like, it could be, like, something that you can look at as something that is a very happy thing, because it's good to see families enjoying their time together. But at the same time, is that something you truly want, or is that something that you see other people are doing because you think that's the way it is? And if your answer is what I just said, like you're looking at everything and you think that that's the way life is, then you're not really asking yourself the tough question on whether you really, really want that for yourself. because that's how it is with high school. Sometimes you see everyone getting girlfriends and boyfriends, or you're seeing everyone having romantic relationships, or you're seeing people have the latest games, they have the latest like technology, and you want to be part of that group, that sort of thing. The deepest question is that why would you want to be in that group? A lot of people want to be with the popular kids because they want to be
You.
Yep. Looks like Rainier's black.
Apologies, my bathroom break went off.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Whenever I come back from break, I usually would come to chat and like let you guys come in like eventually, because I know you guys will come back. Because I trust my co-hosts. They wouldn't be part of the podcast if like I didn't believe that they were capable of like being here for you guys. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying is like you can follow someone else's path, but there will be a point more likely that you will have to differentiate from someone else's path and make either your own path or follow someone else's path in another way. So you follow someone else, but then their path doesn't work out, but then you meet another person that's not that person that you were following, and then suddenly you follow that person's path because it was more aligned with either your values or who you are as a person. And you get to know yourself better, and I think that's basically the gist of it. Okay, so since Rainier's back, John, could you explain like what happened with with you transitioning with different jobs? Because the job that I knew you were working for, you got into it like I think like a couple weeks ago, and then like you suddenly transitioned to this new job that just happened like this week. So could you tell me exactly how that process went about, or what caused like those changes in circumstances? Was it mainly a decision you made, or was it basically made out of outside circumstances?
It was a decision I made, but basically I chose, so basically like I was working somewhere that has to deal with like packages and mail and stuff, but like I decided to switch to retail. The pay is less in retail, but it's a safer choice. Like when you're dealing with packages and like mail and stuff like that, and then unfortunately while I was like working those jobs, there was actually some accidents that happened. So yeah, it's like it's that thing too where if you're working in jobs relatable to more physical work, you don't know what'll happen. Like if you're working at a warehouse or you're working at like
manual labor,
manual labor, like jobs that are more relatable to like hands-on stuff, you never know what could happen. I also asked another friend for the position I have now, considering that it was like safer. The pay is less, but like the hours are actually surprisingly more, at least based off my experience with I was working there for like 3 to 4 weeks at the last job, and they, it's part-time, but the hours they promised were actually not given to me. But it's not necessarily their fault. I think it was due to they have a restructuring going on.
Yeah.
So I think like that affected like everyone's actual hours that we would be working. But we had like it was only also supposed to be just 1 week of training, because I was talking to this other batch. They only had 1 week, but we actually did 2 weeks of that training. Yeah. They put us in a harder facility versus the one that we were going to be working in, that we were promised to work in.
Yeah.
And it's because they were trying to show us the ropes, but while we were in that facility, a few things happened. One of our coworkers twisted his knee while we were on the job.
Yeah.
Two, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, it was like it's one of the hottest days that it's been in years, like where the temperature was like 100 something outside or whatever.
Wow.
We're working inside a warehouse, so
Yeah.
we're indoors, but like the heat, when it's hot outside, it gets really hot inside, and then when
Yeah.
it's cold outside, it gets really cold. That's what they told us.
Mm.
One of the other people from our batch fainted.
Oh.
Um,
Jesus.
yeah, whether it was from heat stroke or whatever.
Yeah.
And also like towards like we still had 2 to 1 more hour of work.
Mm-hmm.
At some point the fans and the AC broke in the warehouse. So
Oof.
like it was getting really stuffy, and the warehouse already had this like humid feeling.
Yeah.
So a lot of workers were getting headaches, and people were getting like dehydrated and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was getting it was getting
So
bad for that day.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Like
it was getting dangerous.
Yeah.
yeah, not good just for you, not just mental health, but also physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I maybe I'm just lucky, or maybe like
Mm.
it's whatever genes, or sometimes I think because when I work out, I'm
Mm-hmm.
used to working out in a hoodie and stuff, and like sometimes I won't drink water until like I'm done, like I'm done
Mhm.
with my workout.
Oh
So
yeah.
I don't know if it's like conditioning or like genetics or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was the whole time I was there, I was fine. I didn't pass out or anything. I was of course tired by the end of like our work,
Of
but
course.
it never felt like I was at the edge of like passing out or whatever.
Mm.
But um yeah, there were definitely like people that were starting to like get lightheaded and stuff, so we got out. The last day of the training, while we were there, the water dispenser, so their fountain did not work the whole time.
Oof.
But like
Wow.
they have a water dispenser. It's just like somewhere else in the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And that last day when me and a couple of people like were looking for water, I've been having a bottle of water, so even though I was thirsty, I've been drinking, so I was fine.
Yeah.
The water dispenser broke,
Oh
so now
man.
we had people that were like saying that they were about to pass.
Oh
I was
damn.
like, I was like, yo, what the heck's going on? It was crazy.
Dang. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I ended up transferring over to retail.
Mm-hmm.
I did 1 day orientation already, or 1 day after the orientation, so I just did one work day already.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely not bad. It's not like I still have to do some lifting and stuff, but it's definitely like not constant heavy stuff like
Yeah.
24/7.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they want you to get stuff done, but you could breathe. Like they're
Yeah.
not gonna they're not gonna like whip you into like going back to work or something.
So
Just get back to work when you're
so
ready.
how did this second opportunity come about? Like did it came like kind of like were you like just like debating on whether you could do the first job and suddenly like you got a call and this like second opportunity came in and you just took it, or was it like a serendipitous moment where you just basically contacted the place that you applied to and the second job, and then the second job just took you? Like how did that come about?
I had a friend that was already working there, and then they
Uh-huh.
offered like they were saying like, oh, maybe I could get you in. I was like, yeah, sure. And it's like it was somewhat lucky too, because
Mm-hmm.
during the time when he said he could get me in,
Yeah.
they actually told me there was a hiring freeze, because like
Mm-hmm.
hiring and job stuff right now is crazy.
Yeah.
uh the, Even though it's a popular retail place, there was a hiring freeze, and then
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, oh, okay, I mean, just keep me posted. So I was telling him like, just let me know, I'm just gonna keep working this job if I have to. And then yeah, around the time like last week,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, yo, an opening just like popped up, just like come in for an interview and all that stuff. And yeah, being bang boom, I was able to get it, and I was able to work,
Nice.
so
Nice.
yeah, it worked
So
out.
that's kind of like a prime example of, it's not all about pay, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say too.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah,
about
yeah.
the package. It's all
I'm
about
glad
the
that you
overall.
found that before I did right here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was thinking I was thinking about that before, and then I lost the point. But yeah, it's that's definitely one of those like moments where I feel like it's better to definitely focus on the safety versus like the higher pay.
Mm-hmm.
Because also, if you look at it logically, if you get injured on the job,
Yeah.
you might have to end up paying like more things than what you were, you get paid a certain amount, but
Yeah.
then you get injured, so then you have to go to the hospital. You got hospital bills now.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
bring in an ambulance, you had to pay for the ambulance. Like,
Yeah.
it
And it's
stacks
just
up.
you probably just have lower quality of life too, and probably a lower lifespan overall.
Yeah.
If you keep working
Right, by maiming
a
yourself
job
too.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience when I worked at Pepsi bottling, where it's
Yeah.
like almost pretty much a factory where they fill like the Pepsi sodas and cans and bottles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got hired in there, and I realized week one that it just wasn't for me. It was very, you have to carry cases sometimes. A lot of
Yeah.
I respect the guys that work in there, by the way. It's just so backbreaking almost, and then
Yeah.
like it's bad for your hearing because
Mm-hmm.
like there are loud noises everywhere, and you
Mhm.
try to talk in the walkie-talkie. It just wasn't. And then the bathrooms were just not well maintained, and then the
Mhm.
break room is like out of like the 80s. It's just, after the first week, I was like, nah, I'm gonna apply somewhere else, and then I kind of
No. Yeah, I
got
get
through it.
that. I think that's basically like life in general because we humans are so prone to like actually wasting time, but at the same time it's like the only way for you to actually know what you want to do is to actually do the things you don't want to do.
Right.
And usually like that's usually how people get into like certain jobs. It's like they started
Mhm.
doing like part-time jobs and they start becoming a server or they start doing retail and they're like, yo, I hate this, I don't want to do this anymore. So then they start thinking like maybe I should do a job that involves an office job, and then they do an office job and they realize like, oh my gosh, this feels like high school all over again. And it's like, okay, this is not for me, and then they transition to something else if they can,
It really depends, because like there's so many factors that makes up a really good job, right? There's
Yeah.
of course the pay, and then there's the hours, then
Mhm.
there's the conditions of the actual workplace, whether it's cold, it's hot.
Yeah.
Then there's the people. So
Yeah.
like your boss
Yeah.
affects you a lot, like the
Yeah.
boss is a huge percentage, and then your coworkers, and then if you're
Yeah.
seeing customers will be in there too.
Right.
And it's like you really have to sometimes you kind of have to be lucky, right? Because like
Yeah.
you may end up having your dream job with good pay, and then it's in your field of whatever expertise whatever degree you did,
Yeah.
but then turns out you have a boss who's like terrible, or like
Yeah.
coworkers who's bullying you, or
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know, something, right? There's always
Yeah.
something. So it's like I don't know. I feel very lucky with my current employment that the conditions just work out for me. Like I'm
Yeah.
satisfied where I am. Like
Yeah.
I can see myself like just working this job if nothing drastically changes and everything
Yeah.
is still comfortable.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had jobs prior to this that was just even before Pepsi that was
They were not
more-
optimal for you, but then
either the pay was too low,
Yeah.
or like there's a lot of physical
Mhm.
that I wanted to do more like simple bench work that
And-
doesn't.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about life in general. Is like, you keep doing things that you think will work out, and like they may work for you at the time, but then you feel like as time goes on, you feel like you can't do it anymore, or you just transition into something else that you feel like might be a better shot. And it's just basically just like trying on things until you actually find the thing that fits. It might not be like the dream job or whatever, but at the same time, if it works out for you and your schedule and the way you feel as an individual, or it's like a healthy transition or a healthy work, it's like a healthy work-life balance, then, I wouldn't say there's nothing better than that then, basically, so...
Yeah, but it definitely is like
It's just basically trial and error, and like everyone's
Trial
doing
and error, right.
everyone's doing trial and error in life, and there's nothing wrong with getting it wrong. And and if you're getting it wrong, then that means you're actually kind of doing life right, because then you're actually finding the things that you don't want. And then when you know that, then you can actually aim for the things you do want, because
exactly.
it's
I
like
agree with that.
like when it came with dating, for example, for me, like even though I'm still terrible at like making small talk and all that stuff, or even approaching, I know exactly what type of partner I would want in life because of my
Mhm.
experiences with dating. I know what I want to look for. I know what type of like personality I would like to be with. for a partner, and I think that is something that is probably more valuable than anything you can read off a dating book in general. It's just that getting to know people is the crucial step. It's just like getting to know the individual, spending enough time with them, and knowing what exactly is it that they have provided for in your life, that they know that they can do it flawlessly without, you know, batting an eye, and it's not stressful for them, you know, because like
I feel like it's natural when
yeah.
you meet the person that you
Yeah.
think is, you know, gonna jive well. I feel like I don't know. To me, it's very natural. Like I know the
Yeah.
people that I'm awkward with, I could tell that it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
And I know the people that are it just clicks. you know?
Yeah. That I have that feeling too, actually, because like whenever I deal with people, if I have this sense that it feels tight and it feels like I can't be myself around this person, I know it's not going to work out. I probably
Like for friendship too, right? Not just dating. It's just like
yeah, it's like not just dating, it's also like people that I probably would try to be friends with, but at the same time it's like the only thing that's unfortunate is then when they're friends that are friends of friends, that gets really tricky, because like, you know, your friends like them, but that doesn't guarantee that you're gonna like them in that regard, you know. But to my getting back to like the point of like the title of the podcast, the topic is that like you will meet people and they're also part of that path that you're making, and you know, sometimes they can help construct the path that you're on. Like if you're on a road and then suddenly the road ends at a grassy field and you think the grassy field is beautiful, but you can't touch the grass, what are you going to do? Are you going to retrace your steps and go back on someone else's path that they already made the road for you? Or are you going to actually build the road that's supposed to be there, that you feel like it should be there? And some people like to make the road themselves. Some people like to follow the road that's already traveled and it's already been constructed by someone else.
And nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. So
both paths are equally good. It's just whatever it suits you. Because
making your own path is like harder, but at the same time, it's much more worth it because it's on your terms. But but if it's someone that you respect and they respect you and they're willing to like give you the time of day to like give you the care and love that you really really need, whether it be a mentor or whether it be like a friend or whether it be like someone that's special in your life, following the path that they went on it's no issue, because you know that
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I actually recommend that word in general. Either you're to be a mentor or to find a mentor. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be that kind of official of a relationship. If you're ever lost in life, like mentors are so good. Yeah. Even if it's someone that just like you make a friend, maybe someone older than you, a decade or two, and you just get like whatever their perspective or like advice from them on what you should do. You don't always have to follow it, but it's always good to have some different perspective. Like mentors are so good. Yeah. Like that they can shape your perspective, and you can. It's like they can show you a paved road, and it's up to you whether how far are you gonna follow the paved road. You don't have to follow it all the way. Yeah. But you know. Yeah. I think it's good.
No, I agree. I agree, absolutely. Like, for me, it's like, sometimes I wonder, like, what type of mentor am I kind of, like, in search of for myself at times?
Because for yourself. And I would even consider, like, you being a mentor, right? I'm pretty sure you kind of do it already, in a sense, with your streams and whatnot. But imagine if you can have some sort of, like, I don't know, like an official mentorship where you become a mentor to someone.
I mean, like, if anyone in chat wants to, like, basically say that I'm a mentor, like, you know, I'm humbled by that, because I never really thought of myself that way.
I feel like everyone can be a mentor.
Anyone can. It depends on what type of life they're aiming for. Yes. And for me, and I think the thing of it is that for me as a mentor, like, if I were to mentor someone, I wouldn't know how to mentor them like, because, I mean, the only thing I've ever done in my life was just basically, like, I followed the same path that everyone else has. The only thing unique about my path was that I managed to have like a family and a support system that allowed me to like leave my job and like, you know, live the life that I guess that I kind of constructed for myself, but at the same time also was forged by my parents. Because like the way my parents live life, they live life as if like we have enough money and we're good where we are. And for me, I just try to expand on that to basically kind of deconstruct myself from thinking that I have to be productive all the time.
Yeah. I feel like it's not necessarily like you having to be a mentor like with jobs or anything, but like
Yeah.
For like example, it could be about like friendships or relationships. If someone is having problems with their social life, you could be a mentor there. And in a way, like I feel like we don't have to be successful completely to be a mentor, because you could also mentor people in the mistakes that you did, right? And what you could have done better, and then you can apply it to them like other people to be like, here's the stuff that you want to avoid here, you know, and then what is your like social personality, and here's maybe the people that this is how you would find someone, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think like
sorry, keep going.
No, like go on with your point.
Oh, I was just gonna say that like you as a mentor doesn't have to be you know it all and you know all the answer, in a sense that you could also be you're a mentor, but you could almost experience life with your mentee at the same time. You almost like swim together.
And like, that comes with the territory. Yeah.
Like you don't have to know the answer. You could be like, all right, let's find out together. Let's find the answer together, and let's see how this approach works, and then we learn from that. It's always good to have kind of like, sometimes people need that camaraderie.
And I'm glad that you reminded us of that, because I needed to be reminded of that, because for me, I never thought I was good enough to be a mentor because of that lack of experience, or because of that lack of knowledge that I have. And the thing of it is that whenever I talk to my friends, they would always feel as if my perspective is kind of like allowed them to see something that they weren't able to see before. And to me, it always felt like it was normal. Like it felt like it was normal for me to actually think this way. But it always surprised me that people didn't see this way that I see things.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah, because I always think that everyone is smarter than me, and I always assume that everyone knows what they're doing, like probably more than I do. In that regard. So I usually make it that I'm the kohai and everyone's the senpai. I usually assume that.
You know that none of us know what we're doing.
The secret to life.
We're all swimming in the mud.
Yeah.
What was that, John?
Secret to life is that nobody knows what they're actually doing. They're just trying to make use of what they got and just keep going.
And if they say they know what they're doing, they probably are kind of half fibbing it.
Yeah, I think like for some too, I think that confidence is important.
Yeah.
While for others too, I think it's better for them to be honest about like what's going on. And if they don't know what's going on, sometimes it works better that way.
And
then,
Oh no! Were you gonna say something else?
No. I was just gonna say like then the other way around where they don't know what they're doing, but they're just confident about giving wrong like information. It's just
or they're humble about it. It's like, oh, I was wrong. Like I thought I was right about this, but then I was wrong about this. Like it's that balance between confidence and humility at that point.
Right.
But like what I was about to say is that like even if like when it comes to life in general, people are always looking for this thing called confidence, right? But then it becomes this whole staple word where you're just like kind of like going on the motivational what's it the self-improvement like rigmarole, where it's like you're watching self-improvement videos, and I'm guilty of this too. Like whenever I watch a self-improvement video and I learn from that video, I'm like, okay, I've done the self-improvement, I'm done. It's like, no, you're not. You're not done. You just basically got the high off of the self-motivational video. Now you actually got to do the thing. Like you actually got to do the thing that's hard. It doesn't, but when the reason why I bring this up is because most people are trying to look for the quote-unquote confidence, but I want to say that that's not it's not always going to be the thing that you're looking for, because everyone wants to be more confident in the things that they're doing, but what they're actually looking for is a lot more deeper than that. It's not something that can be summarized in one word called confidence, right? It feels that way because confidence encapsulates so many different things. It encapsulates competence. It encapsulates like your ability to not doubt yourself, this ability to just do something automatic like a muscle, right? But it's not all confidence. It's not all summarized in this one word. Like, because the thing of it is that people can say the same thing about people that are arrogant using those same exact traits as what makes a person confident. So, like, I had to find my own personal word to replace confidence in a way, because everyone would tell me that I would need more confidence, but at the same time, like, I felt like it was just thrown away. It was just a throw-out word that kind of felt like it wasn't resonating with me. So it's not like I don't like the word, it's just that for me it just felt like it wasn't the right exact word that connected with me as a person, both spiritually and mentally. So I remember watching an AI video, right? And they were talking about like my personality type, which is an INFJ. And they basically in this video, it said, I remember this quote, it basically said, what you're looking for is not confidence, what you're looking for is clairvoyance. And when I thought about that, I had to look up the definition, and the definition of clairvoyance is that you're basically one with everything around you. And that's what kind of made me feel as if like this is the reason why I had an affinity, like I had this kind of like this bad relationship with the fake it till you make it type of mentality, because I know why people do it, because it's sort of like, oh, if you're not that good thing yet, you might as well just do it enough times that you feel that you will develop the confidence for it. But that never really set well with me, because it always felt as if like I have to put on a mask to basically say I'm doing this one thing in order to be able to develop the skills for that. But for me, that never really set well with me, so I had to find a way to actually navigate beyond that. And a lot of people love to fake it till they make it, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it wasn't the strategy for me.
How would you describe your approach then? Now, if it's not
fake
it till you make it, what would
my approach like is to constantly ask questions. Like I would constantly ask questions, and also there are things that are going to trigger you. Like for instance, confidence triggers me, not to like, oh, I'm going to like hurt, like I'm going to basically like punch the wall. But it kind of made me feel as if it's just a cop-out. Like when people say like you need confidence, it feels like it's a cop-out to me, and I really hate that response. Like, do you guys get what I mean?
I kind of sort of get what you mean. It's almost like going back to the wedding that you attended and you couldn't find a social group. It's almost like somebody can almost tell you at that time to be like, hey, just be more confident, go ahead and socialize in that group or that group or that group.
Yeah.
But I feel like your perspective is different. It's not that you lack confidence, it's just that you don't feel that there's affinity with socializing in that event. You know, you don't find someone to connect with.
Are you talking about like camaraderie? Like
like I know you were saying that you didn't get to really socialize much in that wedding that you were saying, right? So one perspective is like, oh, you just lack confidence, you should just go ahead and be confident, but it's not really the problem, right? I feel like confidence isn't your problem there in that situation. It's more what fits your social style,
right?
And it wasn't that event, it wasn't in that event. It's different.
Of course, I like that. That's actually a better perspective than I thought of myself there. So I'm very grateful that you actually pointed that out.
Because I feel like it would have been the same as me. Like I am just not the type of person that really like when I go to like events like wedding, like you said, I'm very insular as well. Like I like to find my own small group that I'm comfortable with, and I never really step out of my way to like sit at a different table and socialize. Like I'm good, man. Like to me, my social life is kind of like more or less fulfilled, and anything I do is extra of it, right? So it's like sometimes I don't need to go out of my way to necessarily socialize. And especially if I'm not gonna jive with you.
If only I heard your voice in my head when I was at that situation. It would have made me feel a lot more better. That's a really great way of phrasing it. Rainier. I really appreciate that, actually. And see, Rainier actually gave you guys some awesome advice there. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to blend in with every single situation that's in front of you. Like like there might be situations where you just feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. You know,
Yeah, because
like
if it was a different, I could imagine a different scenario or a different venue, and you would be more comfortable. If say like I don't know, if you were in an anime convention, you'd probably be more like confident, quote unquote, confident there than you are in the wedding.
or just in a
'cause
deep
you just-
conversation like we are right now. It's like,
Right.
yeah,
It could be like a club meeting. You'll be a
Yeah.
lot more comfortable in that kind of setting.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like that's why, like when it comes to like social events, I just attend them anyway because it's like, okay, let's see if I can meet someone or I can vibe with someone, and it doesn't have to be like a love interest or whatever, but it could be just like a new friend that I can get like their number or whatever, because so we can talk about stuff about life or whatever that is. Because like I noticed that a lot of my friends are they're either very curious or they're very outgoing. They basically are able to explore other groups. And a lot of them are very stubborn. Like I noticed that a lot of people that I happen to meet in life, they're very, very stubborn. Like the more social ones, they're very stubborn in their ways and they never really look beyond their perspective at times. Or they're deep thinkers like Rainier and John, for example. Of course, John is one of my comedic friends as well because he always makes me laugh whenever we hang out.
Very nice. It's always shit now.
See, he just did it now. He just did it now. I love it when he does that.
Oh.
Why, you don't like being one of my friendly friends?
I'm an adult. No, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would prefer, like, I prefer not taking things too seriously. But,
Yeah.
you know.
That's what I love about him as one of my best friends, because like he literally is funny. Like, he will be like a little bit of a joker sometimes, but like when we talk about deep topics, he can really, really think. And I know that he has the like fortitude to basically think on a deep level, whether it be spiritually or whether it be logically, in that sense. That's why I believe in him with all my heart.
Despite him saying that he doesn't take anything seriously, he can engage in serious topics.
Yeah.
That's what's great. You're like
Yeah.
flexible in a sense.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why he has had like many friends in his side of the world. I didn't know how to better phrase that, John, but I know you have a lot of friends, and I think they respect you for
popular.
No. I just know like my perspective now is just like it's different from when I was younger, and honestly I envy my my approach and like just the way I thought of life when I was younger. But my whole thing now is just kind of like regardless of how many people I know or if I'm popular or not, like I would rather people be at peace or like be known with like the wisdom that they have.
Yeah.
'Cause, it's so, I mean, it is kind of like dark times, but the world could always be dark regardless of like the time period.
Yeah.
They just have to like remember, like
it's like
not...
do you want the dark times to make you, or do you want to make yourself the times that are around you? Like you have to ask yourself that question.
And it's understandable, like like you can't be happy all the time, or you can be, but like it would almost be like fake to be laughing and smiling 24/7.
Yeah.
Or maybe something's wrong with you.
That's toxic positivity. Yeah.
Like it's good to be honest with yourself too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to chill out and all that. But
yeah, I think like the reason why I'm very optimistic at times is because I don't push myself to the point where it's like I'm so high that I fall from grace and I have to get this like I have to be in this scene where it's like rain is pouring down on me and I'm looking into a puddle of my reflection, and then suddenly someone is gonna basically either be like have a big friend or Yujo moment where it's like, get on your feet, man, like why are you just sitting there in your slump and all that stuff, because I always expect that to happen. Like I always expect myself to like fail at certain points, and I'm like, okay, how can I pick myself up and not have that like that moment where it's like I have to be like in my own despair in order to like get back up, because like not everyone's gonna have that big falling from grace moment. Like some people probably need it, but for me I don't need it. but at the same time, it's like, how do I give a proper balance where it's like I can mourn for my loss or defeat or failure, but at the same time be able to have the resolution to basically just get up and like do something else, or do the same thing again, but with more knowledge and more experience, you know? And that's usually the hard part. Like, Rainer, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I don't have much. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
y'all are throwing facts and good tidbits.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so like I would have to say, like, life is not like, you know, life is not just one slice of the pie. In fact, like, it doesn't have to be a slice of pie. It could be the slice of another food that you like. That's what we're saying. It's like, basically, like, passive society, it's not like you're gonna have to take one pie and then basically take a piece of it. Like, a lot of people worry about, like, oh, it's just a pie and I'm gonna get crumbs in the end. But you can make a new dish. You can make a new dish, and then suddenly that new dish creates more opportunities for someone else. You know? I think, like, for me, it's like, I just think gratitude plays a big part of my life, because I don't have to be productive, like, because I know a lot of my friends are working hard to maintain their own lives. Like, even, like, John and Rainier are working, and they're being productive in their own lives to do the things that they want to do. But I know they need to work because it gives them a sense of belonging in society, in addition to, like, maintaining the hobbies that they love. And they're living their best lives because of that, you know? Like, I don't want to be, like, even though I don't have a job or anything, and I've been unemployed for, like, 4 years, I would have to say that I'm not in a bad position where I have to be desperate for, like, looking for money in that regard, and I'm grateful for that. But that's because I've lived with my parents. And I know my situation is very different, and a lot of people would be thinking that I'm a privileged child. Or in this case, a privileged adult. And, like, some people can make the stereotypical assumptions that, oh, I'm leeching off my parents and whatnot. Like, probably, like, I would have to agree with them in some points, but at the same time, I'm also, like, helping my parents in some ways, even though it's not financially. And even if my parents complained to me that I'm not pulling my weight, I would actually find a job if they told me to.
And you're spending time with your parents. I mean, the opposite problem happens with some of us and some other people that just work every time, and they barely spend time with their parents. And then next thing you know, your parents are aging, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
because, like,
you should spend time with your parents.
Yeah.
Because you never know when they're last.
I mean, like, I think I also influenced my mom, because, like, when I quit my job, right, like, my mom continued working 4 years after that, right? Like, now she's considering retiring early, and I think I kind of influenced that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I left the same job that she did, and I left earlier than her, and, like, you know, maybe she was just influenced by the fact that, oh, our situation is much better than not everyone else's, but the people that we know. Like, our situation is, like, very unique. And I think the reason why my perspective is so different, like, not so different, but probably a little bit different than what most traditional people would think, is because I think it's because I've learned to trust my family and trust the people around me to help me. Because, like, one example from the wedding I talked about is that every time when I was sitting by myself, a lot of my friends, like, because my friend Ronster, he worked at the wedding that we were at, me and Kevin were at, right? Oh. So he was working at the time, and he would check up on me, even though he was running around everywhere to make sure that everyone was served at the wedding. And, like, Kev would, like, he would come to me whenever he saw me by myself, and he was like, oh, yo, are you good, Peter? Are you good? And at that point, I had this epiphany where it's like, these are the people that I have to look for. It's the people that will be concerned for me, even though there might not be anything wrong. Because, like, for me, I was okay with being myself because I'm so used to being by myself all the time. But for like other people, it can be disconcerting because they're like, oh, Peter's by himself, like, you know, he's not engaging or whatnot. Maybe we should check on him. Because there's always a fear for people that they're worried that if they live by themselves and they're all alone, that, like, say, like, if they have an accident or something in their home and they have to go to the hospital, the one fear is that there's no one there to basically visit them while they're in the hospital, or there to take care of them if they need it. And for me, I did have that fear at one point, but then I've grown to accept the circumstance that I may be by myself. And I'm okay with that, but I've gotten okay with it to the point where it's like whenever people ask me if I'm all right, whenever I'm alone, it's like that's when I realize that, wow, I am so blessed at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
I had the fear that you were telling about earlier, where it's like, my fear is like, I live alone right now, and it's like,
yeah,
ooh, what if I have a heart attack? Like,
or what if a bookshelf falls on you? You know, like those type of things. Yeah, it's those
like,
it's those type of things
that will visit me, like my mom or brother will be there, but like,
yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, do I need to set up some sort of like one press button that will call either the emergency services or call my mom or something?
Yeah,
like that? Like,
it's not just for old people. Everyone needs that button.
I know, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess
it's like I have fallen and I can't get up.
Damn, life alert, let's go.
Yo.
I have a neighbor. I kind of feel bad for them, and I don't know whether they're still here or what happened to them. But multiple times they would just scream help like out loud because I guess either no one's living with them. That's definitely the case, or they're working or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They're in a situation where they can't call someone. But like they would just yell help, and I feel bad because I'm like, I don't know if she's being taken care of, because sometimes you know, after 30 minutes you would hear the fire people come in and get them. I don't know whether they have Alzheimer's, dementia, or what's going on with them, but they're like, and then they would do it like, I think they did it like a total of 4 times in different intervals, and at some point I'm just like, why didn't they ever set her up with like a one call button? So maybe they have Alzheimer's or dementia where they can't do that, you know? But it feels bad.
No, like I get that, and I think that's the fear that everyone fears the fear that comes to people's heads when it comes to like living alone or not having someone with you, because even my mother is afraid of that. Like, she's like, because we used to have a neighbor that lived across the street from us. They lived alone for a long time, up to old age. But then they had to, like, you know, they eventually passed away, you know? And, like, my mom was like, I don't want to live like that. And I'm like, live like what? Live by myself the whole entirety of my life. I don't want to live like that. And, like, you know, I could have, like, for me, I could have moved out if I chose to, or if I was so determined to move out. But like, my mom told me that even if I moved out, like, if my parents need help, which they always do, like calling an establishment or whatever, because my dad has a thick accent and he can't make calls to like people that are like in companies and whatnot, I have to be there. And for me, I realized that there's no point in me moving out because they're gonna still call me. It's better for them to call me while I'm in my room than me being in an apartment and then suddenly I have to drive all the way to their house just to basically make a call for them that would take 20 to 30 minutes. So, you know, like, that's why the circumstances work out. And, you know, like, my parents, like, I'm their only child. So, you know, I might as well expect, like, even though that I'm not working now, when my parents get older, they will need a caretaker. And they'd rather probably trust me to be their caretaker than a stranger. And at least at that point, they will probably be old enough that I will get paid by the state in order to take care of them and their assets, you know? So, like, it doesn't mean that, even though I've been unemployed for like 4 years, that doesn't mean that I don't have the potentiality to actually get a job in the future. I just have to wait until my parents get very, very old. That's the only thing.
Yep.
But, you know, like, for me, like, I'm just surprised that I've managed to survive this long based on the things that I had, you know? And and I think that's enough sometimes. Like, sometimes, like, I think some of you guys are in your own apartments, are probably thinking about these things. It's like, I have so many bills to pay, like, how am I going to get, like, my own freedom to do the things that I want, and all that stuff. I think when it comes to that, you have to look at the philosophies that will allow you to try to develop the skills that you need in order to get to the path that you want, because there are many finance books out there, and many of these different finance books will tell you probably similar strategies or probably different strategies. Like, one book I haven't yet to read, but I kind of want to read is Die with Zero. by Bill Perkins. And this book basically tells you to spend, if you have money reserved and you haven't spent it yet on experiences that can make you a better person and have a better life for yourself, you better start doing it now. Now, of course, like many people would read that title and be like, oh, this guy is teaching you to be irresponsible. He's just teaching you to live the YOLO life and all that stuff. But I think some people need this type of book. It's not for everybody. For someone like me, it goes back to my conversation that I had with my best friend Ronster. He basically told me about buying a car, having the satisfaction of buying a car, because from his point of view, he thinks that I don't live life to the fullest in some regards. And I agree with him in some ways, because I am a person that doesn't know how to live a little. Like, you know, that phrase, like, you just gotta live a little. For me, it's like, because I always thought that living was just doing my own habits and doing the things that I felt comfortable with. But at the same time, like, I never really let myself let loose, because I always be like, that's irresponsible, or I shouldn't do that because it'll be a burden to everyone else around me, you know? And some of you guys might be in that situation. You might be like living a comfortable life, but at the same time, you're like, this is the way it is. And there's probably like a part of you that's kind of missing because you haven't done something that seems like it could be something just for yourself, just for the heck of it. It doesn't have to be something responsible or something constructive or productive. It could be just something that you just did because it's like, oh, this is cool, I want to try it. That type of feeling. Because a lot of people are not taking risks that way.
Oh yeah, risk aversion is definitely, sometimes you have to take risk in order for you to gain something.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a common advice already. Like, you don't want to just remain in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think the best approach is that you find a comfort zone, because of course we value mental health. Right?
It's like a pivot point. It's like a pivot point.
At the same time, you kind of risk a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be like 180. Because like for me, whenever I try to take risks, sometimes like I think I have to do a 180. It's not really like a 180. You can just basically take a little risk. Like, say, if you're afraid of walking outside your house, the biggest risk you can take is just walking outside of your front door. That's the first risk, because you just walked outside.
Right.
That's it. And like soon you'll be able to walk past the driveway. Like, just take a step at a time. And then when you take that step off your driveway, you're going to feel so accomplished at that point. Yeah, some people will be like, okay, now you're actually going to have to go to the bus stop. And you're like, but there's cars, there's traffic lights, there's pedestrians, there's people. and then you psych yourself out, and then you run back into the house. So like, take your little victories as you can, because like for me, like I never thought I would be at this point, and I had to honestly ask myself one question, like, would my younger self like the way I am now? And when I am honest with myself, I'm thinking like my younger self will be like, how'd you do that? How did you do that? Like, how did you manage to like get over all the stuff that happened between you and dad, and like all the stuff that basically like would hold us back and make us like turn into a corrupt asshole because we would hate our job or something like that, you know? So I think my younger self would be like, oh, that's cool, like you didn't do anything amazing, but at the same time it's like, at least we get to hang out with Kev, we get to hang out with John and everyone else like normally without having to worry about being on someone else's clock. You know, that's, I guess, that what really matters. So, you know. But I think that's basically a majority of the stuff I wanted to cover in the podcast. Like hopefully we stayed on topic for what this episode is about, though, guys. I mean, what did you guys think? Did you think that we did a good job maintaining the topic of the podcast?
I mean, I don't know. I love the tangents that we talk about.
Yeah.
I love going to those tangents.
Yeah. I think we did a good job, like trying to maintain the episode's content. Like, you know, like we're not like the Diary CEO. We don't have it nicely structured, but at the same time, this is just a bunch of dudes talking. You know.
I feel like I enjoyed them equally. I enjoyed the gotcha talk. I enjoyed the John's employment talk. And then I enjoyed of course the actual deeper topics. I think I like our structure, to be honest. I don't want it to be just serious stuff all the time, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's why I like it when John is a part of the podcast, because he just sometimes says stuff that either is very enlightening or just something that's very random that it makes me giggle.
Yes.
See, like even him uttering a syllable just makes me laugh. But it's about 10. Like, should we continue a little bit longer, or do you want to end it here, Rainier?
I would say like 15. No, let's round it up a little bit. Let's see, like 12 minutes.
12 minutes? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys got at least like a good amount of, at least like a little bit of soul searching from what we discussed. And I'm not gonna say that I know everything. Like I really constantly learn and teach myself a lot of things. And there,
Yeah.
go on, Rainer.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's actually, this is a sort of a slight tangent. I actually have a mentorship program that's with my work.
Yeah.
They have a mentorship program, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So you could either be a mentee and get matched with a mentor, or you could be a mentor and get matched with a mentee. I recently went through the kind of like the prerequisite workshop classes to become a mentor, and I'm actually signed up for the mentorship program.
Yeah.
To be a mentor. It didn't work out. My mentee didn't work out. They were a new hire, but they, like, after the first week they turned down the job. So I guess I don't have my first experience as a mentor, but I have some sort of like basic idea in my head of how it's gonna go, because obviously work isn't gonna hand feed you how to be a mentor. They're not gonna give you like, here's a step-by-step of what you gotta do. It's like, you kind of have to just build your own curriculum, build your own questions, build your own style of, like, format. So I don't know how that's gonna go for me, but I'll share it.
All right.
If next time we meet, I'll share.
Well, even though we're gonna have like 12 minutes into the podcast of extended content, we will take another break, and then we'll be back like in about a minute. So we'll be right back, guys. BRBs.
Yeah.
Baby.
All right. I'll just let the guys.
Here.
Oh, you're still here?
Yeah.
All right. All right. You took like the time you need to breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna like basically, I guess, like we'll just like chat for like another 12 minutes, and then we'll probably end the podcast there. But like I said before, like hopefully you guys got at least something, because even if it's something that you're like, no, I'm still confused. Confusion is always going to be a part of it, because if you're more confused, then I think that's kind of like, it's still a breakthrough, because you begin to start thinking like, what feels right? Because the confusion is supposed to tell you what like, you're stuck in a feeling that you don't know how to interpret. And I think that's the thing that is really enlightening about life. It's like, when you have those confused moments, those are the moments where you actually can be like, why is this confusing feeling confusing? And sometimes you might get even more confused, but like, hopefully that makes sense, because sometimes in the like of the confusion, you can give little words that describe the feeling, and then when you describe the feeling, sometimes it gets closer to things like anger or sadness or disappointment or guilt, or and sometimes it leads to like random memories from your past that kind of constructed you in that way. Because, like, in order for you to think of yourself as less boring, you have to think about what gave you that idea that you were boring in the first place. And that's a long trip down memory lane. Because sometimes it could go back to your friends, it can go back to your parents, or, you know, it could have been like, you know, when you're a baby, you suddenly just remember witnessing, like, your parents, like, saying something about you without actually knowing that they said something about you, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, can you imagine if you remember something that you were just, like, less than a year old? I mean, some people have that type of memory, like they remember when they were in the womb or something, and I'm surprised that that's a thing. Like, there's some kids that remember what was like in the womb, and I'm like, wow, that's a really good memory.
Sometimes, like, I wonder if that's an actual, like, if that's like the real memory, or if it's like a strong memory that they created, or like a strong dream, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I have this constant memory of me having that basic, like, shape toy where you put like triangles, squares, and like circles through like this wood.
You're matching the shape?
Yeah, matching the shape. And I still remember I grabbed like a square, and then I put it in the circle, and it's like, you know, it's stuck. And then I kept slapping it, and it went in, and I stared at it for a long time, and I was like, I wonder if that changed my perspective. And like,
for some reason, I had the feeling you were gonna say that. I was like, yeah, like, what type of baby was John as a kid? And then, like, I was like, yep, he's the kid that put the square in the circle peg.
In the square hole.
And then you see it just like go in, and you're like, was that supposed to happen? And like, I wonder if that like did anything to my
and there's nothing wrong. And there's nothing wrong with being the child that put the square peg in the circle, or vice versa. There's nothing wrong with that. It just shows that you were determined. You're all rounded.
All grounded. Yeah, when I have that like faint memory, I'm like, oh man, like I wonder like if that caused some change in the way I would think of things, or if that's even like a falsified memory.
Yeah. Like, actually, like, this is a deep question I want to ask you guys, and we could probably put it in the next podcast if possible. Do you guys believe consciousness exists?
Exists? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, it's a really deep one. There's no right or wrong answers. I'm just curious of what your perspective is.
Yes? Question?
I would say it has to be yes, right? But
like,
but
I mean, it's what you feel. It's what you feel. That's why I'm asking the question.
The way I define it is, physically speaking, it's supposedly be the electrical signals that fires in our brain in a certain way that constitutes like memories and frontal lobe like consciousness, you know, thinking. So I guess in that sense it exists as it kind of like how your computer exists, and how the computer processes things, and through the what is it called, nano transistors or whatever. Yeah. Right. Like in the semiconductor or whatever thingy. I guess just like how that exists.
Right.
I'd say consciousness exists.
Yeah.
Similar way.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any right or wrong answers. I mean, if you guys have any answers yourselves, like, you know, put it in the comments down below. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, or put it in the chat if you're in like Twitch or Kick. But the thing of it is that for me, I've always asked this question, like, does in my own life, is like, does consciousness really exist? And what I notice is, like, whenever I go into like science videos and watch things like from like Star Talk or something, or maybe Veritasium at some points, I would notice that or even I forgot this guy's name. He's a really good podcaster. He has like a lot of people that come on his show. Like, he has like a lot of people that are scientists, entrepreneurs, CEOs.
You're talking about Lex?
Yes. Yes, as soon as you said Lex,
a scientist. He's like
Like, I've watched some of his content too, and like, I
Excellent.
noticed that like there were some scientists that are having their own ideas about consciousness, and these are people, and some of them are actually physicists, and I'm really surprised because I mean, Roger Penrose has his version of consciousness, but the more I like look into the, I guess, like the inner ways of like, I guess, like scientists doing interviews like on these podcasts about consciousness and whatnot, the more it seems like these scientists, whether they be from MIT or from like other universities, it would seem as if they're talking about consciousness as if once we understand consciousness, we'll be able to manipulate everything within our own lives. Like, be able to manipulate, like, because like there was this one scientist named Dr. Donald Hoffman. He's a scientist from MIT, and I think he's a neuroscientist as well as a psychologist. And his perspective is that he mainly just focuses on like, you know, neuroscience in addition to like mathematics. And his perspective is that once we understand consciousness or observation itself, then we would be able to manipulate things, even the laws of physics.
What? That's interesting.
And it's from an MIT professor, and I'm like, and this is not the only person that has come up with an idea that seems this far out. I mean, I don't remember the physicist's name, but he's like he somehow created, like, not created, but thought of his own theory of everything, and it involves like consciousness being like some sort of like spiritual thing that will manipulate things within the laws of physics. And I've noticed that people that are getting into consciousness, like scientists that are very curious about it, they're getting into realms where it seems like it's almost like they're trying to make some sort of like telepathic manipulation of the universe itself through their exploration of the science of consciousness. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Why is it that consciousness suddenly becomes this powerful thing that can manipulate even the universe?
Yeah,
because I understand something like with someone who is like into spiritualism and stuff, but never a scientist.
Yeah, I know.
What was that movie? Lucy? The actress that played Black Widow. There's a movie where
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, I think it is Lucy. I think
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
It's like I guess they all just suddenly watched it and now they're
Yeah.
affected because it's like it's the same. It's not the same. Is it the same? It's somewhat of the similar concept where
Yeah.
it's like when you start unlocking
Yeah.
like 100% of your brain or whatever, you could like do whatever, or you could like manifest
that, like,
or
I've heard that, like, you know, like like I don't think that's true, like, basically, like, I mean, I'm not a scientist or anything, so don't take anything at face value for what I said, but I don't believe that humans use only like 10% of their brain or whatever, what people say about that, because I think the brain is used all the time, and like you utilize your brain to keep your bodily functions active. So I believe that the brain is always active and you're always using 100% of it. The thing is that what I find very surprising is that according to Dr. Donald Hoffman, he basically says that once we understand observation, because when it comes to science, right, like the first thing that we do in science is observation, right? But observation is clouded by human biases, right? Can we agree on that?
Or, I mean, yeah.
So I think they did a study mathematically that whenever you do a scientific study, like basically with science, we try to explain it as if that's the way it is, like based on observation and experiment. But I think they did like a statistical study where it's like based on human observation, you're not getting 100% of what the system is telling you based on just human observation and experimentation alone. Do we find any problems with that, or do we agree with that?
Based on experimentation alone,
you cannot get 100% like a visual of what reality is. So let's say you're doing an experiment on something and you're trying to prove something. Even though you manage to prove your hypothesis through that experiment, that's not 100% of what the rules of what the laws of nature entail.
You may be missing something, or
Mm-hmm.
it's not 100%. Maybe it's only like 90% of the way
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's yeah.
No, I mean, if
We're
some of,
always limited in that sense,
like,
though,
if we
right?
want to debate on that, we can debate on that. Like, that's what I'm just asking, because the thing of it is that it makes a lot of sense to me, because it's like, yeah, because the way we do science is the same way we do mathematics, because we draw up assumptions and we assume certain things are true, but then we have to keep those assumptions true, otherwise we won't be able to make definitions on what we can use to construct to make like scientific laws. Like with math, it's the same way. You have to assume that certain things are true in order to create definitions. That way you can create theorems in mathematics.
I suppose that you have to do assumptions in the foundationally, but
Mm-hmm.
eventually you kind of have to toss certain assumptions out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that, like, oh, of course you assume that we exist. You assume that the brain thinks,
Mm-hmm.
but eventually, like, as you learn new information, you have to kind of re-revise your assumptions or re-revise your theory, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Of course,
Depending on
that is
what
within
results you
science,
get.
of course.
Because I think, what is it called? The scientific method? I think
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how exactly they described it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's an assumption there. I think there's like a working theory in the beginning, and then it changes or you reinforce it as you test, as you get results.
You mean a working hypothesis?
Right, I guess a
Yeah.
working hypothesis, yeah.
But like, I think like this is not to draw up an argument or anything, but like a kind of a thought exercise is that. But wouldn't that reasonable hypothesis or educated guess, for example, wouldn't that considered to be an assumption based on the person that is observing the thing?
Yeah, it's like
like, it's not a full out assumption, like say, oh, I assume this, so this must be true. It's more like, I'm assuming that this system is going to behave this way, but I'm going to do an experiment just to make sure.
Well, like, you have certain ideas in your head already going in of what you expect it to happen based on prior knowledge, right?
Right.
Because we can't be assuming what we don't know. Like, we don't know, say, like, we discover a new element or whatever, we don't know anything about it, and you can't assume anything about it yet.
Right.
But if you have prior knowledge of how building blocks work, then you can like, based on the laws of physics, or based on whatever second law of thermodynamics, that this is going to be the assumption of what's going to happen. So it's kind of like, I guess assumption is kind of like a loaded word, because
it's just like how I feel about confidence.
They're not completely baseless. Like, your quote unquote assumptions have kind of like, it's based on something. It's based on prior knowledge, and it's based on like the scientific technology of that time.
Yeah, and I think your take on it is similar to what they do in mathematics, because when you look at mathematics, you know that when you add two numbers together, they have to add together in the same way, whether it be like, if you reverse the numbers or not,
I guess the assumptions there would be like, well, I assume that if I add two things together, then the result is going to be greater than...
And that's usually built by intuition, right? Because like, if you have like 2 + 1, then you have to know, then you probably feel the intuition is like, oh, then 1 + 2 must equal the same thing.
Yes, that, or like the sum is always going to be bigger than the two.
So I guess like the intuitive guess, basically.
The intuitive guess is gonna be...
I mean, that's better than assumption, because assumption makes it seem like it's just like, oh, I'm establishing a law right now, like not having prior knowledge of the whole entire thing before it.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking of it of like, say, like, how would we think about the current flat Earth idea, right? And I'm pretty sure they have certain ideas about the world. Or so you can make certain assumptions about the world, or certain educated guess about the world.
Right.
But the idea is, how do you resolve whether something is true or not? Or like, how do you go about proving whether the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
So you have certain assumptions, but how do you like dispel that idea? So if you believe that the world is round, right? Like, what experiment do they have to do to believe that the world is not flat?
Right.
That's like the idea.
Yeah. I think like the point we were getting with this particular topic was because with science, like it could be argued that even though we observe things and we've done many experiments, the argument can be made that basically it's only based on what we observed as a human being. But it's not basically saying, oh, I am God, and I basically say that the laws of science are like this because of my interaction with it. That's basically the gist of it. Because the thing of it
It's really
is...
tricky because I feel like humanity is bound to it's like we're always flawed, or like you said, our
Yeah.
observations are always going to be flawed in a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like our truth is always going to be flawed, and it's just something that we kind of have to accept as a human. Like we're never gonna be able to find absolute truth.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. There's a true crime that happened. You got like a case. There's a serial killer. Like, even though, say, okay, he gets found guilty, the what the prosecutors presented as what potentially happened may not be the 100% the truth, right?
Yeah.
It may not be. It may only be 90% there.
Yeah.
But just that analogy with the way science works and the way the current understanding of the world that we have is right now is definitely is suited to our flawed human brain. It's just the way it works, right?
Yeah. John, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the way that we perceive reality and how it's flawed, honestly, I think it's true, but as a human society, honestly, like, even the things that we say are not objective, you could argue that like 90 to 100% of the things that we do as humans interact with and everything is objective and subjective, because it's just like or subjective, I guess, is the term I'm looking for, because like we call a duck because like some scientists and a bunch of people said that's a duck, but at the end of the day, it's like, or I guess at the beginning of time, it was other humans that said that was a duck. That could be like something completely different from like the actual name of whatever that was created by whatever created that could be something completely different, but because we can only rely on the information that we can collect and create, we're calling it a duck.
And we're also limited to our own language, so our language also affects the way we kind of like explain the world away. Yeah. So.
And it's almost like the way where you grew up as well.
Yeah.
Right. It's definitely not created equal. Whether you were born in I don't know, Saudi Arabia versus you were born in Papua New Guinea in some jungle somewhere.
Yeah.
Your understanding of the world is going to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be 100% objective at that point, like, because you're going to be, but at the same time, it's like you can't be born everywhere, and you cannot be.
We could still imagine, though, right, that there is 100% objective truth out there. It's just that we humans cannot
access it.
Like, we don't have access to that perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like we think of, say, I don't know, oxygen as having this many electrons, this many protons, this many neutrons. To our best understanding, that's actually how it works. But you never know. The absolute truth might be like, this is actually how it works, or like maybe if you zoom in, there's actually quarks or whatever that builds up all of these other things that we don't know yet, and our knowledge is incomplete. Or slightly inaccurate, who knows? But like, there's definitely an absolute truth, but it's just that we don't have access to that. So
we're just great at estimating, like with closest precision, that may be the reality in that case.
Yeah. So in a sense, like it's there's no point in us agonizing that we cannot access the absolute truth.
Yeah.
It's always just good to know that there is some, and we just try to be as close as we can to the absolute truth, knowing that we are humans with subjective perspectives.
Well, we'll probably end it right there, and we'll probably save that for the next podcast if you guys so choose. If you would like us to continue this deep conversation, put it in the comments down below if you're watching this on YouTube Live or YouTube Shorts, or put it in the chat if you're watching this on Twitch or Kick. But first, I would like to thank my co-hosts, Rainier and John. Thanks, guys, for another productive conversation for the podcast this month. And luckily, we did not miss the second Sunday this time.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Do you guys have anything to say to our global audience before we depart for tonight?
You first, John.
There are many paths in the world, and you could either create one or choose one. But remember, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it's all subjective and nothing matters. I know that sounded really dark, but yeah.
It sounded pretty nihilistic, but I get the intent. I get the intent.
Yeah, I was like, how do I flip this? Yeah. It's like make choices in life, but make sure they're good, and then just don't hurt other people with your choices. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's the intent what John was going. It's like, make sure the stuff that you do is worth it for you and the people that you care and love for.
Yeah.
Rainier?
Our audience, just be happy, maximize happiness. I think whatever your purpose is in life, I think one of them is to be happy, right? And not, it may not necessarily be happy yourself as well, but also other family members that you care about. Make them happy, see to them, maximize your time with your family members. You never know when they're gonna last in this world, and not just them, but ourselves. Think about yourself. So we wanna be, I know we hate the word productive, but we want to be productive with our time in a sense that it suits our happiness and other people's happiness.
Yeah.
So message to y'all.
That's good. I agree. And also, guys, like, if you're feeling burnt out, there's a new routine that I've actually been trying out, like, recently. Whenever you get up in the morning and after you get your prep done and everything, like brushing your teeth and whatever, I would say set a clock for 5 minutes. And then when you set the clock for 5 minutes, whether you sit on a pillow or on a sofa, just try to do nothing for 5 minutes. I would say try that and see what thoughts come into your head. And when thoughts come into your head, you realize that 5 minutes goes by really quick. But then if you're thinking about like things that make you a person, or like why you're thinking about those things, or like a thought comes to your head and you're thinking why you're thinking of that, there's a reason for it. And I would say that will basically be the 5 minutes that are probably going to be worth your time, because it will allow you to like kind of like get away the clutter that's in your head. And I think that will also help out with like feeling like you have to be productive all the time, because you're not a robot, and at least I hope not, unless AIs have already taken over and watching the podcast. But you don't have to be productive all the time. And I would say like take 5 minutes just to do nothing. You could stare at a wall, you could stare at a blank screen, whatever. I would say like try it and see how it works, because I've been trying it for at least like I think I would have to say 5 days, 5 or 4 days. And I wouldn't say I feel different as a person, but it makes me feel reassured that I'm doing something that not many people are doing, because they just don't have the time. And I think that is something that is worth doing, at least like in practice. Like if you can make your brain go completely blank during those 5 minutes, I really would want to get to your level. But thank you for tuning in to the Second Monday podcast. And always remember, guys, everyone is precious. You guys are just as precious as everyone else. And we will see you guys in the next podcast. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.